Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I, your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And today I have such a fun video for you. We're going to be talking about Skeleton Crew Episode 3, some absurd Easter eggs that just got confirmed by Star Wars, and stay tuned because then we have some very spoilery speculation. Lucasfilm just accidentally leaked a couple of things for future episodes, and so we do need to talk about those. You're getting a great value 3 for 1 from me. It's going to be so much fun. So let's get straight into it. Star Wars just confirmed some of the most absurd and obscure Easter eggs from the first 2 episodes, and one of them has ramifications for Han Solo and Chewbacca. The first one is now a well-known Easter egg, but it's worth addressing for a different reason than you think. In Skeleton Crew Episode 2, way past the barrier, when the children arrive at Port Borgo, KB takes an interest in one of these caged creatures. As I covered in my full episode breakdown, this is a reference to Captain EO, a 1986 short film by George Lucas starring Michael Jackson, and this creature was called Fuzzball. Well, now the official Star Wars databank has confirmed it's the same name in Star Wars canon. That's right, this guy is a Fuzzball. I was just thinking of the absurd nature of naming this thing what it was inspired by, and then it got me thinking, where have we heard the term fuzzball in Star Wars canon before? In The Empire Strikes Back, it's a derogatory name that Han Solo hurls at Chewie. Laugh it up, fuzzball. Excuse my American accent. Now, even though it wasn't apparent at the time, and it was just a throwaway insult because Chewie is fuzzy, it could now have a deeper meaning. What if fuzzballs are known to be an exploited species, ones that are captured by lowlives like pirates and smugglers, used as pets or entertainment, and there is such a bad association that their name is used as a derogatory term in the way Han Solo uses it? Very similar to the way people use the word cow or pig. Intelligent and lovely animals, no doubt, but people use those words to insult other humans. It could be a similar thing for fuzzballs. Another creature that was stolen from Captain EO is Neil. He was inspired by a character called Hooter, so that's another character they took from it. And it makes me wonder if they created Neil based on Hooter, and only later realized, oh my gosh, people are going to think this looks like Max Rebo. Lucasfilm have also confirmed in the prison sequence, the whistle that we hear is the same one from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, where pirates behind bars try to lure over a dog holding the keys. This is almost akin to the Wilhelm scream. Another fun fact most people missed, in the scene where KB and Fern are riding their bikes, they fly past a diner with Aurebesh writing, which reads Mel's, as in Mel's Drive-In from American Graffiti. Another really fun Easter egg that truly went under the radar is a double Book of Boba Fett Easter egg. An 8D series droid very similar to 8D8 from Jabba's Palace in Return of the Jedi and Boba's Palace in Book of Boba Fett has emerged in Skeleton Crew on Port Borgo as a tattoo droid. This series, the 8D series, were originally smelter droids, so I guess it's appropriate, but something most fans missed is what he's tattooing on the customer. It is the sigil of the Hutt cartel, and what I've noticed is that a few fans on social media are confused, saying, are the Hutts still active after Jabba's death? Well, we know they are, guys. In the Book of Boba Fett, we saw the Hutt twins, the cousins of Jabba. They wanted to take the throne, they sent Chrysanthemum to kill Fett, but after the Wookiee failed, the twins apologized, offered him a rancor, and Boba told them to return to Nal Hutta. So we already know the Hutts are active, and I hope we see them again, whether it's in a Book of Boba Fett Season 2, maybe this show, we can't rule it out. I think they were one of my favourite cameos in Book of Boba Season 1. It's been really fun breaking down these little tidbits along the way. I'm super pumped for Episode 3 in a couple of days. I'm keeping my fingers crossed the quality of the show maintains its very high standard, and I will be breaking it down. Some really awesome news for the 3rd episode, aside from the longer runtime, is just like Episode 2, it's directed by David Lowery. So I assume we're going to pick up straight from the prison, where the kids met Jod, aka Captain Silvo. He's got the Force. It's left us with so many questions, his origins, his backstory, his motivations, but one major one, how long has he been in there? And the reason I put this question forward is because the opening sequence when he was still a pirate, when they raided the bulk ship and there was nothing in the vault, might have taken place longer ago than we think. It might have been a flashback. When the kids meet him in prison, he's very disheveled and says he's been in there for a long time. Captain Brutus has been in charge of the pirates longer than we think. According to IMDb, Episode 3 is going to introduce us to some new pirates, and I also think we're about to meet Kim, the small owl-like creature, someone who Jod is familiar with. And if I were to make a prediction, Jod has been biding his time, waiting for the perfect chance and opportunity to escape. And it's now. The kids name dropped at Tatooine, and I predict episode 3 as them escaping Port Borgo. And I've also got to wonder, the credits from the opening sequence in the vault, do they have something to do with what's going on Tatooine, their obsession with old currency and its value? I don't know how the two are linked, but I think they are. Aside from giving us two different aspects of Jude Law's character's identity, I think that opening sequence is going to be very important by the end of the show. So I wonder if we're going to see the purpose of that bulk ship, where it came from, what it was doing, and who took those credits. Not to mention, we're also getting more of the Tatooine subplots back home. The parents of the kids appear in every single episode, Farah and Wendell. And something that might be a bit of a spoiler, but Star Wars shared a still from episode 4, the episode directed by the Daniels. And in one frame, the kids are reunited with their parents. Let me clarify, just fun and whim. Do Neil and KB get separated from the other two? And how come a reunion is so soon? So many questions. I'm also really pumped because, at one point, the kids end up on a mysterious world called Lanupa. We're going to see a Sith temple, and another planet called Atakran, which might be one of Tatooine's moons. And if that wasn't enough, keep in mind guys, the final 3 episodes have some enormous directors attached. Episode 6, Bryce Dallas Howard, Episode 7, Lee Isaac Chung, and Episode 8, the showrunner himself, John Watts, who also directed Episode 1. By then we should have a lot of answers. So here's what I wonder, if there's going to be a reunion, or partial reunion at some point in the first half of the series, does that mean a lot of our theories are wrong? And I say this in light of a question someone put forward to me in the comments, something I've also discussed 1 or 2 times with a few friends. Who is the real villain of the show? And is the plot really finding their way home, or is it escaping home? The answer to both are very much linked. At face value, you might say, well, it's the pirates, they're the villains, but I think that's just one level. I would say the supervisor, the unnamed, unseen supervisor, holds all the answers. Or in a symbolic way, is Tatooine the real villain? Is the dark nature of what the planet is being used for what the children and their parents have to escape? Is it finding clues as to why the planet has been closed off? The pirates are more of a secondary villain. They're not interested in the kids, but more where they come from, the eternal treasures of the planet. And you guys know my thoughts of what's behind it. But that said, my dear friends, I want to hear from you. What do you make of all the Easter eggs, the latest revelations, the preview we just covered for episode 3, and are you excited? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and may the Force be with you, always.